So, what is a limiting factor? Now, a limiting factor when it comes to photosynthesis is that something that if we change the amount of it, it can affect whether or not photosynthesis occurs or the speed at which it occurs. So that's what we mean by a limiting factor. Now, the four main types of limiting factor photosynthesis are the amount of light that a plant receives, the temperature within which it exists and the surrounding environment, the carbon dioxide concentration in the surrounding environment, and also the amount of chlorophyll within the leaves. Now, these can have different effects for different reasons. So as you see with light intensity, the more light you have, the more photosynthesis occurs until you reach a point where the rate of photosynthesis doesn't increase any more. And the reason being at that point is because all available plant cells are photosynthesizing. The same idea is applied to when you have carbon dioxide in the surrounding environment of the plant. You increase the amount of carbon dioxide, there's more raw material available for plant cells to photosynthesize up to a point where the rate then flattens out, which means that you can apply it with as much carbon dioxide as you want. After that point, it won't photosynthesize any quicker because all of the available plant cells are photosynthesizing. And this point for both of these limiting factors, this is when it's reached its optimum amount, so the optimum light intensity or the optimum carbon dioxide concentration. When we're talking about temperature, you'll see after its optimum amount, about 25 to 35 degrees Celsius, the rate of photosynthesis then decreases. That's because temperature affects enzymes involved in photosynthesis, which means if they get too hot, what happens to them is that they denature, which means they don't work. And because they play an important role in photosynthesis, it means photosynthesis can't happen anymore. So therefore, the amount and the rate of it just starts to decrease and decrease and decrease. And then when we are talking about chlorophyll, if a plant is healthy, then the rate of photosynthesis can primarily be affected by the other factors. But if a plant is got a specific disease or deficiency that affects the amount of chlorophyll, which is the site of photosynthesis, it means that that can have an impact on the rate of photosynthesis. So diseases such as a tobacco mosaic virus or rose black spot, which affect the chlorophyll that is within the leaves of the plant, can obviously then slow the rate of photosynthesis because there's not as much chlorophyll available. And also deficiencies of particular minerals such as magnesium can also have an impact on the amount of chlorophyll that there is within a leaf, and therefore what it's able to do. And then the important thing about limiting factors is being able to control them, because if you control them, you can optimize photosynthesis and plant growth. So if you think about farmers and their use of things like greenhouses to grow plants. The reason why they do that is obviously they can create conditions in which the plants sit primarily at the optimum conditions in terms of temperature, chlorophyll, light intensity, carbon dioxide, so therefore they photosynthesize the most, and therefore they can produce as much glucose and oxygen as they can and grow as much as possible. So controlling these is of important economic benefit for farmers, and that should be all you need to know on limiting factors.